Chaos at Christmas as unions plan to bring train services to a standstill. A new rose has been created celebrating Jane Austen, and
good morning, good afternoon, good evening guys, welcome to Captain Ketch Airlines.
round the world in 175 days, a Hampshire man in his flying machine. Good afternoon and welcome to Winchester News Online. I'm Lexi Dutton. Passengers are facing chaos over Christmas as train unions voted to strike for nearly all of December. The RMT union has ordered its members to walk out every day next month, aside from December 1st and the 12th, the date of the general election. It has left commuters angry and concerned how they will travel throughout the month. Alice Howell reports.
One of the busiest months in rail travel has now been plunged into chaos as RMT have announced 27 days of rail strikes throughout December and New Year's Day. The strikes come after a long-running battle between RMT and South Western Railway over the future of the Guard's career. Speaking about the industrial action, RMT General Secretary Mick Cash said, "As long as the company continues to give assurance on the future operational role of the Guard, we will remain in dispute." The strikes will begin at midnight on Monday the 2nd of December until the 11th, and then again on the 13th of December until the 24th, then continuing once again on the 27th of December through to January 1st. Commuters were more than happy to voice their disagreement with the rail strikes.
Well, I think rail strikes are totally unnecessary.
It really is appalling. And if enough customers could find an alternative way of travelling, they'd realise they're being paid to do a job.
Mick Cash later congratulated the Guards on their fighting spirits for securing the future role of Guards on South Western trains. A statement from South Western Railway said, "The RMT union decided to call disruptive strike action. They seem insistent on going ahead despite meetings and talks." South Western are still hoping to come to an agreement with RMT.
It is 1 month exactly until the general election. Students are being advised to register so they don't miss out on voting. Victoria Darlin has been around the Winchester campus finding out how much interest there is in the election.
With the general election only a month away, we have asked the students of Winchester why they think it's important to vote.
Biggest problem at the minute, and so that is a big kind of factor into what I'm going to be voting for. And pro-environmental things, probably my other big one after that.
I'm going to vote in the general election because I think it's important, everyone should have their say.
So that we can have a say on the future of our country.
Because I think it's important everyone has a say as to what happens to the future of the country. Like, I think students, their opinions are just as important as everyone else's, because students, like, they're adults now and they have a lot to say about what happens to the future, so it's important to have your say.
A new rose has been created to celebrate the life of Jane Austen. The Chawton Cottage Rose marks the 70th anniversary of the museum where the local author once lived. Ellie Clout reports.
Chawton Cottage was established in 1949, right? I was established. So it's a joint celebration.
A new rose has been planted at the Jane Austen House Museum to celebrate being open to the public for 70 years. The Chawton Cottage Rose is the third to be specially designed to mark some of the museum's key anniversaries. Since 2013, 3 roses have been added to Jane's garden, and the museum's ambassador, Alan Titchmarsh, feels they are essential in keeping Jane Austen's memory alive.
I'm an ambassador for the Jane Austen Museum. I love coming to this place. You can feel Jane Austen's presence, and the house sits so beautifully in the garden, and I think it's just a delightful thing to be able to do and to keep not just her memory alive, but almost her presence alive in the garden. It's a very special place.
The company that designed the rose has revealed that some of the proceeds will be used to help restore the Jane Austen House Museum. The local company has designed 3 new roses, and after nurturing each for 8 years, they believe that they will all bring new memories to Jane's garden.
And so you get quite a strong bond and relationship with them. They're almost like children, slightly better behaved usually, but quite like children.
The Chawton Cottage Rose can now be seen in Jane's garden, and the museum continues to welcome gardening volunteers to keep her legacy alive.
Craft makers from across Hampshire set up their stalls at a fair in Winchester over the weekend. With a variety of goods to offer, from candles to Christmas decorations, we sent reporter Natalie Jaksakova along to see what the event had to offer.
Whether you enjoy arts and crafts or simply like seeing what local businesses have to offer, Winchester's Craft Market last weekend had something for everyone. The market took place in Guildhall and had a lot to offer.
We've got 34 stallholders today doing lots of different handcrafts. It starts off with handmade jewellery. We have lotions and potions, soaps and smellies. We've got lots of different materials. There's porcelain here, there's ceramics, there's woodwork, there's glassware, just anything under the sun really. It's all handmade stuff.
But the focus wasn't just on handmade goods. They're also hoping to encourage local businesses to put themselves out there.
People are interested in handmade items, they're interested in diversity, they're interested in sustainability, and these sorts of things are key to what a lot of the people are doing.
Many local businesses came along to show off some of their products and try to build their presence amongst Winchester residents.
We make hand-painted ceramics on tiles that then make wall art pictures. And we've come here because obviously we want to make a go of our little business. We're just 2 normal friends doing something on the side, and we thought we'd come along and give it a go and see how it goes.
Winchester Craft Market hopes to return next year and encourage even more people to shop local. Natalie Jaksakova, Winchester News Online.
Another bonfire night went off with a bang this weekend. Cara Simmons enjoyed one of the displays in Winchester.
It was a sparkling evening in Winchester on Saturday, with local residents wrapping up warm and parading through the high street to celebrate the 61st Bonfire and Fireworks Night. Volunteers lined the roads as the torch procession continued, all the way to the North Walls Recreation Ground. And raising over £60,000 for local charities, it was an event not to be missed. The event certainly finished with a bang. Cara Simmons, Winchester News Online.
With Christmas approaching, it brings with it the start of panto season. And all over the country, theatres are getting into the festive spirit. Our reporter, Katie Whitaker, took a magic carpet ride at Bournemouth Pavilion Theatre's launch of this year's pantomime, Aladdin.
As the festive season approaches, the pantomime season is already in full swing.
With panto, you become a really close family because you do it over Christmas and you're not with your family, so you need some love, and you're doing so many shows together.
With fun for the family, theatres across the UK are putting on a show, with the Bournemouth Pavilion Theatre taking their audience to a whole new world with this year's pantomime, Aladdin.
What I'm most excited about to do Aladdin this year in Bournemouth is actually to spend time in Bournemouth for 6 weeks, because I love Bournemouth. I've been before, always said I wanted to come back. Everybody's so lovely, and I think there's so many different types of characters in the group as well, and I just think there's going to be so much fun over the festive periods. It's not so much pressure with panto, I think everyone's in good spirits. We go on stage, we want to have fun, we want the audience to have fun, and we like to tell a story.
The Starfield cast are excited to perform in front of a new audience and possibly spread some Christmas cheer.
To be on a stage on a Christmas Eve and a Boxing Day is the best thing in the world. The audiences love it. You can't help but feel Christmassy. There's a real excitement within the company and the cast. The kids, the babes and the Jews are going crazy because they know Father Christmas is coming the next day. So it is a wonderful experience.
EastEnders star Richard Blackwood has performed in pantomimes before, but says he's excited to take on this new role.
I've always been technically the good guy. Now I understand why actors say that they enjoy playing villains, because you can let go and you can do things that is not normally you. And I think it's safe. And you know, if the crowd's already booing you, you haven't got no place else to
Come and see Aladdin this Christmas at the Bournemouth Pavilion.
Katie Whitaker, Winchester News Online.
And finally, a magnificent man and his flying machine. Hampshire adventurer James Ketchell has just become the first person to fly around the world in a gyroplane. The madcap pilot touched down back home after 6 months in the air. Cristiano Magalio went to meet him.
Okay guys, there is New York City off to our left. This is incredible. Never thought I'd be flying along New York City, along the famous Hudson River. Amazing. Just amazing. Woo-hoo.
In March, earlier this year, Hampshire adventurer James Ketchell took on his most difficult challenge yet, circumnavigating the globe in a gyroplane.
The reason I wanted to fly around the world in a gyroplane is it had never been achieved, but no one had ever flown a gyroplane around the world. There'd been many attempts, and I got quite a bit of help of people who had tried to go around the world before, and it was different, and I like being different.
Setting off from here in Hampshire, James travelled across Europe, Russia, Alaska, into Canada, all of the US, before going to Greenland, Iceland and the Faroe Islands. Finally, landing back where he started at Popham Airfield, having travelled 175 days and 37,000 kilometres.
So the challenge is really, this sounds very daft, but most of the challenges were actually on the ground. You're almost running on adrenaline. And what happens is when the body runs on adrenaline, there's an opposite to that. And as soon as you come off that and you relax, you just crash out big time. And it wasn't easy. The flying around the world, although it had an engine, it's the hardest thing I've ever undertaken and managed to complete. It's easier to cycle around the world.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening guys. Welcome to Captain Ketch Airlines.
Captain Ketch, as he's known on social media, has rowed across the Atlantic, cycled across the globe, summited Everest, and made headlines when he and his boatmate had to be rescued in the middle of the Indian Ocean by an oil tanker. During this massive 175-day journey, James stopped off to talk to youths and at schools before landing home at Popham Airfield. Cristiano Magalio, Winchester News Online.
That's all from Winol this week. Thanks for watching.